beloved listeners, and welcome to Snake People at the Movies, film criticism by people who actually like film. Join us as we dive into movies we love, movies we respect, and movies we wish we could unsee. It's the podcast where we talk about growing up and living queer, nerdy, and depressed online and at the cinema. From the kids who are doing some weird science, it's Sneople at the Movies. I'm Helena.
I'm Ezra.
And I'm Matty. Welcome to the full crew back. It is the post-Halloween season in the worst month of the year. In my humble opinion. No, February is the worst month of the year. November is a close second.
Alright.
These are my strong month takes.
That's completely fair. I feel like November used to be one of my least favorite months of the year, even though it's the month when my birthday happens, but now I don't work retail anymore, so my feelings have changed.
For me, it's August.
I've always had weird stuff happen in November.
Oh, interesting.
November and February are the worst months for me because weird shit always happens to me in those months.
Okay.
It's a very personal take. But nothing weird happened last year, so fingers crossed for, something weird's already going to happen in November, I know. But
and
something on the horizon that I see coming.
I was going to say, I guess November 5th happened to everybody, not to you specifically, so.
True. Yeah, and that wasn't bad.
That wasn't bad. That was good. That was
good.
That
was
euphoric.
Weird.
But it was weird. Yes, I should clarify that bad things happened to me in November and February.
Completely fair.
But I got my bed stuff out early this year, so it's smooth sailing, baby.
Well, to be fair, I think every November is technically in America is an election month, so you're kind of setting yourself up for something.
It's always a crapshoot.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, you know what else is weird this year? Guess when Hanukkah starts?
In November?
Dude, Hanukkah starts on fucking, November 28th or something this year.
That is weird.
Yeah,
what happened?
Hanukkah merch already.
Oh man, love that you work in a place that has Hanukkah merch. I mean, I know you live in New York, but still.
Yeah. Got mugs, we got all kinds of stuff.
Oh, that's cute.
Somebody gave me a cute Hanukkah mug, but I don't know what happened to it.
You have mugs, you have a whole thing.
Well, we have a supplier, so.
I I found a funny, I could get a sweatshirt that has a goose holding a menorah in its mouth that says Happy Hunk. So if my job decides to do ugly sweaters or whatever, I'm getting that.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be like...
Excellent pick.
Somebody's gonna be like, I'm sure the, one Jew who's a member of this credit union or whatever is gonna be like, Hanukkah's over, right? I'm gonna be like, you can confidently assume that I, a person who is wearing a dorky Hanukkah sweater in protest in the middle of December, knows that Hanukkah is over. I'm just saying.
Let's hope.
Yeah. All right, good bit, everyone.
Yep.
Well done.
Glad we rated some months.
And that's all for us here at Sneople at the Movies.
All right, okay.
Yeah, this is now the Sneople at the Monthies, where we just rate months and go home.
Yeah. January, pretty okay, actually.
Yeah, I feel
June rips.
January has always been God, at least I don't have to deal with the Christmas nonsense anymore.
Yeah.
Some people are get Christmas come down depression. I'm mine is their mood are just doing the downward trajectory, and mine is fucking going up exponentially with numbers of days since I've heard a fucking Christmas Carol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What we shit! I'm the first person on the. I'm never the first person on the. What we sneak.
You did that.
Sorry about that.
I did. No, Helena did that one.
Helena.
Okay, it's fine. Helena's just setting themselves up to look impressive by being here's my giant list of things I've watched.
Oh no, I was gone for 2 weeks or 4 weeks rather. So.
You also have twice as much time to have watched things. Okay. So I finally I bought the original cast album documentary for Company from the Criterion sale. And I showed it to my parents. We all went absolutely bananas because Company is definitely one of Stephen Sondheim's greatest works. And my dad especially fucking loves Company. So that was cool. And then for Halloween, I went over to my ex-coworker and friend Ruby's apartment because they and their girlfriend were finally like, we unpacked all our shit, come hang out. They have such a nice apartment. It's amazing what you can do when you have 2 salaries and you only need 1 bedroom. Wow. Like, holy shit.
Imagine.
I know, right? Damn. And I made them watch Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow with me. Which fortunately they both liked, but like I am just insane about that movie. I love it. I watch it every October. Anyway, and every year I'm painfully reminded of the degree to which Twinkie, Johnny Depp, and a lot of high collars is a gender presentation goal. And then I finally saw What We Do in the Shadows, which was really fucking funny, and I can't believe it's taken me this long to watch it. And then, because then I went and started the TV show, because my roommates were watching season 3, and I kept, like, walking into the room while they had it on. Which is also just extremely good. And this counts as a sitcom, and I think it might be the only sitcom made after, like, 1998 that I've ever enjoyed. And by that I just mean, I do kind of like Frasier. Which might be Stockholm Syndrome from the amount of Frasier reruns I watched as a child.
No,
it's impossible
to
say.
Frasier into your life.
No, okay. So the thing is, like,
watched Frasier as a child as well. And then revisited it as an adult. I can tell you,
Sneople at the Frasier.
It's more of like, oh, this is too painfully relatable kind of situation.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
We really did just grow up to be the kind of gays that have to admit that, like, Frasier is funny because it's sort of thinly veiledly about us.
Yep.
So we don't have any money.
Yep.
Ugh.
We're broke Frasier.
We're broke Frasier and broke
What if
Niles.
Frasier was broke?
We're broke Frasier. Yeah, okay, hang
And
on.
Maddie's
I have
our
to
dad.
change my... Maddie is absolutely... There it is! Shit!
The fuck up, God.
And Raleigh's the fucking dog!
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, if any of our listeners want to Photoshop our faces onto the Frasier characters, that would be extremely cool.
I'll let her.
Amanda's Daphne too.
I'll let our marketing manager know.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, it does mean Amanda's Daphne, which I kind of love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can create a whole multiverse here. Just
Wow, this is beautiful.
Then and we're going to talk about this in a little bit because it's November 5th. How could we not? I have finished season 4 of Supernatural.
Yeah.
And I have a healthy crop of Destiel brainworms. It's just, I've given in. I'm no longer trying to deny that I have Destiel brainworms.
I don't know how you can get
happened.
through the season 4 finale of Supernatural and not have Destiel brainworms. So, like, honestly, it's all good. It's just...
it happens to some of us, but...
in the end, all will
But
fall.
I see you, and I love you, and I think you're correct. I just don't
you're
personally
definitely
have
correct.
them. Yeah.
One day, Matty. We'll see.
No, I made one of my funnier Tumblr posts, I think, which is I don't watch Supernatural for the ships, which is like going to church, but only for the Eucharist. But
Just to get some snacks,
Destiel is my ship-in-law, and I love it.
That's
so
fair.
I love it for you.
That's valid.
I'm an idiot, is what I am. If I was
out.
smarter, I would be there, but I'm not. I'm just like, I'm not in it for any of the interesting stuff. Anyway, my turn?
Yes, please.
Great. I saw Leia was like, you're in your train era, and I was like, I am in my train era, but it's on accident. Because I watched Train to Busan, finally finished it, so fucking good. The US remake is on my shit list already. I rewatched Murder on the Orient Express, the Ken Bren one. I saw Beetlejuice, which I have seen before, but I went to a Halloween party and like half people there had not seen Beetlejuice. So we were like, shut the fuck up, let's watch Beetlejuice.
Yes.
Always good. Watched Priest 2011 twice because I watched it on Halloween, and then the next day I went to Ben's house and we were talking. We were gonna do something else, and I was talking about Priest, which is a train movie also, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to watch Priest again?" And I was like, "Yeah, I kind of do actually." So I watched it twice.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that this is one of our, like, friend group movies.
Yeah, this is... Priest is one of the movies that I'm like, all right, so here's my really long list of things that Priest is, and people are like, yeah, I'll watch it. And I watched it in a triple feature with In the Mouth of Madness, which is 1994. It's based on a Lovecraft story, boo. But Sam Neill's in it, yay. And it was really good. And then we watched
movie,
Pitch
right?
Black also, which Ben had never seen, and his roommate Rob, our friend Rob, was like, hey, you guys want to watch Pitch Black? And I was like, I fucking love Pitch Black. Ben's like, I don't know what this movie is. And we were like, shut the fuck up. We're watching Pitch Black.
Incredible.
And I didn't mention this last time, and it's not a movie, but I've been obviously playing Final Fantasy XIV, and I caught up on the main quests, which took me like over a year to do, because there's so many of them, and I am all caught up for the expansion on the 19th, and I'm very proud of myself. It was a lot of work.
Hell yeah, that's
but
awesome.
I did it. So that's what I did.
I'm doing the extremely lazy version of that with Destiny.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, you don't really have a time crunch like I did. For me, it was like, oh shit, I really gotta get on this because I have a year until the expansion, and I have like 8 years of game to get through.
Oh, they're about to archive like a bunch of shit like fairly soon,
no.
so if I want to play it, I am on a time limit.
Shit. Well, that's bad news for me, too.
I know, right? Matty, get me on Light and be my Destiny buddy.
Yeah. God, I miss Destiny so much.
We can fix that.
We can fix that. Okay, anyway. Helena.
Yes.
Helena turn.
So keeping in mind, I'm trying to go through this as quickly as I can. I was not obviously here last week because I had a acting conflict. So this is for the last couple of weeks. I stayed pretty close to watching only horror movies this month. I watched the original The Invisible Man from the 30s with Claude Rains, the nasty, awful man. Not Claude Rains, the character. I rewatched Clue, that's like the only exception. It's not technically a horror movie, but I rewatched Clue with Leia because we've been meaning to for a while. That was fun. I rewatched What We Do in the Shadows as well because I watch it every Halloween. And I also started the show as well because my friend Sage is really into it. And so we watched the first episode of that. And we're going to keep watching it later this week. Very excited to get caught up at that, and Sage already has a ship to get me to give me brainworms of that, which I'm very excited for.
Oh, what's the ship, and is it Nandor and Gearbo?
Yeah, yes. They were like, yeah, this is like the thing, and I was like, yeah, I trust you. And then I watched the first episode, and I was like, yeah, okay.
You're like, whoops,
whoopsie. I rewatched Scooby-Doo and Witch's Ghost, of course. It's October. I watched Freaky, which is the body swap comedy from last year with Vince Vaughn, where he gets transported, like he plays a mass murderer, serial killer who gets put into the body of a teenage girl and vice versa, and then he has to like work with or she has to work with her friends to reverse this curse that's been placed on it. It was really funny. I really had a good time.
I want to see it so bad.
They went really farther than I thought they were going to go with the body swap comedy aspects of it, and I was really surprised and proud of them. I had a really good time. I watched The Haunting, which is the 1963 adaptation of Haunting of Hill House. I watched the 1920s. The 2020 adaptation of The Invisible Man, or remake of The Invisible Man, I guess, with Elizabeth Moss, which was really good. I really enjoyed that. I finished Midnight Mass, the miniseries, and I cried a lot. I think that's so far my favorite Mike Flanagan series. I'm sorry. I watched The Grapes of Death, which in French is called La Raison de la Mort. Which is the best title of any movie ever made. It is about grapes that are being sprayed with pesticides in a vineyard and are turning people into crazed, murderous zombies. It's great. Demons is also an insane movie, which is an Italian film, but it was dubbed about a bunch of people who are trapped in a movie theater and are possessed by demons who live in the movie theater, and it's disgusting and gross, and there's a guy who rides a motorcycle down the movie theater while wielding a katana. It's amazing. Please watch it. I went to go see Titan in theaters, which was one of the few times I've been to the theaters.
All right.
Since, I thought it was great. I really had a good time. I knew absolutely nothing about it going in, which is, if you can, or if you are able to do that, that is the way I recommend going into it. I never knew what was going to happen or where it was going. It was insane, disgusting, disturbing. Not like disgusting, actually it wasn't too bad, but like disturbing. And I came out of it feeling different about my body. Kind of like, am I here on this planet? I'm not entirely sure. I highly recommend going to see it if you can. It's really, really good. It is batshit insane. I rented Old from the library, and somebody put a hold on it, and so I had to watch it immediately before I had to return it. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time. Romeo plus Juliet. Yes. Oh my god, I watched Romeo plus Juliet, the 1996 version of Romeo and Juliet. Which I'd never actually seen all the way through before. I'd only seen,
no
like,
way,
scenes.
really?
Oh yeah. No, I'd only seen scenes in high school and like on TV a couple of times. So I also got that from the library, and Leia saw that I had rented it and was like, "Can I please watch that with you?" So we did, and it was great. Fucking iconic. Just iconic. Every single second of it. Yeah, it's so much fun. John Leguizamo is the only Tipple, I think, to have ever existed, except for my dad. My dad's also valid. My dad and John Leguizamo are the only two people to have ever played Tipple, so very good. I went to see Dune in theaters this week, which I will talk about, I guess, during our sci-fi segment. And then,
hey, Helena.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
I am just... Every single iteration of that meme is just my whole personality right now.
Dude. The terrible thing about me is that I thought of just saying that, like, Dune when I was sitting in the theater to see it, and then my brain was like, it's time to duel, and then I was like, I need to not be at this theater anymore. I need to be let out of this theater so they can take care of me.
I have to go.
I don't belong here with these people. And then last night I watched The Wind Rises, which is the Miyazaki movie from 2013, which was gorgeous. It's been so long since I've watched a new Miyazaki, and I just like forget how just like incredible the animation is in every single one, obviously, but just like, yeah, it's just so lived in, and the people are so... I can't even... you all know. Everyone knows how good of an animator Miyazaki is, and the whole team is. So yeah, that was the last one I watched. Oh, and I also started Blood of Elves, which is the book that will be containing the events of season 2 of The Witcher, which premieres on my birthday. So hopefully I will be ready for season 2 of The Witcher, and I'm already very excited about season 2 of The Witcher. Anyway.
Fuck yeah. Confession, I hate the new hair, but I still love Joy.
Hey, I do too, but like, it's, you know, I'm like, I gotta do it. I gotta support.
Oh, yeah, no, this does not change my feelings about him. I just think the hair is fuck ugly.
I mean, it's like the hair in the video game too, I think, because it's like the hat also is very similar to what he wears in the video game. It doesn't entirely suit him. It's okay. I'll live with it. You know, he'll find a way to be sexy, I'm sure. He'll do it.
He will.
I believe in him. I'm counting on you, King. Hey, so Matty, what are we talking about?
Well, we're talking about a couple things. First of all, we're recording this on November 5th. This will not come out on November 5th, obviously, but for those of you who are online in any sense of the word, you know what that means. Last year, it was the final day of the election, because that went on for multiple days. Nightmare. And also... it was a fucking night, wasn't it?
It was the best night of my life. It was, yeah.
It was the moment where I thought about Supernatural for more than 30 seconds in a row, and I haven't stopped thinking about it since.
Truly the best of times, the worst of times.
Yeah, it was I just remember, like, I think I must have been editing or something. Like, I was doing something podcasting related that day, and I finished it up, and I got a text in the group chat, in a different group chat, that was like, no, wait, hold on. I'm trying to remember the timeline. Saw the tweet that was like, Cass just confessed his love to Dean and then died. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I got a text in the group chat with two of my friends that was like, did you guys see this shit? And I was like, hold on, I need more context. And I was getting that, and then our group chat blew up, and then Twitter blew up. So and then there were the rumors about Putin. There were the recounts, and it was a lot. It was an evening. I went from being in kind of a crummy mood because it had been a nightmare of a week because of the election, to, like, best day of my life.
It was so funny because
fucking incredible.
Like many of us, I had not thought about Supernatural in 50 years, give or take, and a whole lifetime. And I was on the bus going home from work that day because I had been I had been updating like my phone or like looking at my phone all day, even at work, because it was the election, and I was like, there has to be something. And when I was on the bus, I saw on Twitter in the news feed, you know, they promote like news stories or whatever the hell, or something they think you'll like. And it was like, oh yeah, it's the Supernatural is airing tonight. And I was like, yeah, right, okay, fine. That's great that you think I'd give a shit about that. Not now. This is really not important. Little did I know, it would be one of the greatest things to ever happen to me. The emotion that I felt when I started processing what happened, I don't really think I felt an emotion like that before in my life.
Shrimp emotions?
It's definitely shrimp emotions. Like, it was funny at first, because I was like, I can't believe they did that. And then, I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they did that. And it's great, but it was also terrible, and it was also funny, but it also wasn't. And I felt like I was losing my mind. I think it was kind of what it felt like, what losing my mind must feel like. Yeah.
And then I think some of the best parts is that it just didn't stop. Yeah. It's been going on for a year. We're in Supernatural season 17 now.
Can't believe it's been November 5th for a year.
It's the shit that has... Do you remember when the Spanish dub came out?
Yes!
Yeah.
Oh my god, I've never... Yeah. It was November 5th the 2nd.
We have a year's worth of Destiel fucking milestones, and it's making me insane.
It was incredible.
And then the French dub came out. Yeah, I just going back to the Spanish dub, I just remember specifically the group chat being like, okay, people who speak Spanish, I need you guys to confirm if this is as gay as I think it is. And those of us who speak any fucking inkling of Spanish were like, yeah, this is gayer than you think it is. And for today anyway, my like dash has been fairly normal. I feel like there have been some posts. I was really bracing for impact there. I really thought it was going to be out of control, but I don't follow really any Supernatural blogs. It's like me, y'all including like our other friends too. My like one mutual who also posts other stuff, and then a couple of random blogs I followed that are not Supernatural blogs but are also like tangentially interested in it. Mm-hmm. And therefore I've had a fairly normal day. I did just say normal, like normal, but beyond that, it's like not been anything I couldn't manage. But I I wish that I could get like a peek into what it looks like for Supernatural fandom right now. Like, I just want to I don't want to be in it. I just want to be a little bit closer so I can see what's going on with them. Mm-hmm. Much like how I wanted to get a closer look when Jared and Jensen started having their big fights. Oh my god!
I was like, I want to know what those people are talking about right now.
Just to be a fly on that wall.
That wasn't even like Destiel the Third. That was like a whole completely different like holiday.
Yeah,
like a sub holiday that was happening there.
That was the like end of, I would say, like, so okay. So for those who are not like aware of kind of the way that people started talking about Supernatural post November 5th. Supernatural 16 is all of the like external meta drama that happened after November 5th, after the show officially ended, I guess, a few weeks later. And I say we're on Supernatural 17 because there was a point where like it just, I think the tweet storm that Jared did, where he was like, I can't believe you've started this new Supernatural show without me or whatever, and he kept like deleting tweets and shit. That was, I think, the Supernatural season 16 finale, and now we're in season 17.
Yeah.
So much has happened.
Brother,
y'all, so much has happened.
We are so far into the weeds right now.
And sorry, I keep getting distracted because I keep remembering shit that's happened this year and being like, do you remember when Misha released a poetry book? Anyway, but
that was recent.
let's take a step back here. For Helen and I, we have been into Supernatural as like fans, or had been anyway, and then took a step back, and then now are in too deep again.
Yeah, you got sucked back in.
Yeah. But so when November 5th happened, we had the like years of history with Supernatural. Ezra, you have gotten into Supernatural since then.
Yeah.
How does this November 5th feel? How was your? I want more Ezra information here.
Baby's first November 5th. Unfortunately, I've been at work all day, and my new job is like I can't have my phone on me, so I can't like I used to be able to like hide in the freezer at work. And check my phone from time to time, and I can't do that on the teller line. But also, like, I'm functionally not on Tumblr anymore. And even when I was, like, I think I kind of went out of the way to just, like, just not follow people who were really into Supernatural. Because even by the time I got onto Tumblr, you know, it's like it wasn't as huge anymore. Because, like, I was, like, really started on Tumblr and, like, I guess when I had first gotten to Tumblr, because the very first thing, like, dramatic thing I remember about having a Tumblr was the OG Misha-pocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
And I was vaguely aware. I mean, like, I was aware of Supernatural because I was on the internet. And I had been, a Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan, and there were, you know, when I was on, like, reading Buffy fic, like, on people's live journals and shit, a lot of Buffy fans had moved on to Supernatural for understandable reasons. And so, like, that was my main, like, encounter with the show, but I never watched it. I'm not really sure why. At one point, I, like, because I've seen, before I started watching it with Leia, and, like, I'm definitely watching it, like, I only watch it with Leia. It's, like, a thing that we do together. I'm trying to think about this now, because it's, like, it's been so long. Because this fucking show was on for 15 goddamn years. Which is just longer than any piece of television should run for anything. I'm like, there's a natural lifespan to these things, and that had far exceeded it. But I had always had this sort of, like, sense of, like, I will admit, condescending a little bit, like, fondness for the Supernatural fandom. Of, like, you know, oh, like, this is cringe, but, like, I kind of love you guys, like, you know, like, oh, like, you know, I kind of love you because, like, it's cringe, but it's, like, you know, yeah, go for it, like, we shouldn't be afraid to be cringe from time to time, but with the fundamental understanding that, like, I was somehow, like, less cringe because I wasn't into Supernatural. It's the same way I felt about Teen Wolf. It was a little bit of, like, the evolution of the not like other girls thing. And, like, oh my god, am I eating my words? I I have been sort of vaguely paying attention. Like, I've just sort of been like, tangentially aware of the fucking, like, people who were just, like, genuinely bug fucking sane about this show. Mm-hmm. For real. And, like, but you know what it is? I get where they're coming from. Like, I get it. That's the worst thing.
Yeah.
Is that, like, this was not, in fact, a mass delusion. It was, like, you know, guys, it was real.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's been real this whole time.
That was
what the fuck?
That was one of my favorite posts that came out, like, right around the time that this happened to all of us last year, where people from the outside being like, who were aware of Destiel, but believed, not Supernatural specifically, but Destiel in particular, who were, like, aware that it was a thing, but believed it was, like, just like any other ship. I mean, any ship is like any other ship, but, like, it was, you know, heavily subtextual, and that we were, like, inventing a lot of it, reading a lot into it, and then coming back being like, oh, holy shit. You guys were...
there was... Yeah, there was really, I think a lot of people had this idea that it was overwhelming, like, it was overwhelmingly, if not completely, a like, wish fulfillment construction of the, like, a willful misreading of the source material. And, like, the show just, I mean, there's a reason that we've been calling it the last great American queerbait for all this time, because it was fucking, like, this was just, it was sort of like, it was an elaborate scam, except then at the last minute, it became validated in, like, the most, like, simultaneously heartbreaking and cowardly possible way, which is just, like, even more of an emotional whiplash than if they had just really gone all the way for it. You know, instead you're left with this, and, like, Leia pointed out something interesting to me last night when we were watching the season 4 finale, that, like, there was never a guarantee that there was gonna be more Supernatural. Like, so many of those season finales just could have been it forever, which is, like, genuinely just the nutsest thing I can imagine. But, like, oh god, it's like, I don't even know where it is so, nothing has ever happened like this. It is such a unique product of, like, a particular, like, place and moment in, like, pop culture history, but also, like, he's in love with Dean Winchester. Like, he gets lobotomized. Like, he gets Angel lobotomized, and he comes back, and he's still... And it's like, he goes right back to it!
I know.
What the fuck?
And you know how many times that fucking happens?
From what I gather, the answer is a lot!
Yeah. Yeah. And it never fucking takes, does it?
And, like, look, like I've said before, this show is a show, it's a clown show that makes people into clowns. Like, that is incontrovertibly true.
Yeah.
But also, and I am pretty confident in saying that at earlier points in time, it was mostly just Misha Collins out here just being an agent of semi-benevolent chaos.
Yeah.
And just because there is no other explanation for the way he is playing that character. Even if, like, the show doesn't get with the program until way later. Like,
yeah, it's tough
so many
to
years.
watch the season 4 finale.
I spent so many years just, like, looking down on the Super Hulocks. And I still do, but really the problem wasn't that they loved Supernatural. The problem was that they were still into Sherlock.
Oh, how the turntables.
You know, I guess I turned 30 in 2 days, so maybe with age does come wisdom.
Yeah, you really hit the nail on the head in every respect there, I have to say.
There's so many shots of Misha Collins just fucking looking at Dean.
I know.
And every single one of them kind of makes me want to wade out into the Puget Sound and never return.
Yeah.
But also, gay love can pierce the veil of death and save the world. So, you win some, you lose some, I guess.
Yeah.
As a Supernatural fan, except for the ones that you win are also the ones that you lose at the same time.
Oh, and you've got so much more to see in season 5. I'm so excited for you.
Okay, Leia posted, it was either you or Leia posted that fucking, article of, best Destio moments,
yeah.
and my, just the shit machine in my skull was like, well, we have to see all of these now, and it's like, no.
Well,
we all have a limited amount of time on this planet in which to live, and I cannot become a person who is going to spend a chunk of that limited amount of time watching the entirety of Supernatural.
You will not have to watch them. I think, as somebody who has already seen Goodbye Stranger in season 8, having not actually gotten to season 8 in my rewatch, you can just watch the individual episodes out of context for the Destio moments. I think that I think.
Yeah, you really don't need to. You don't need to.
Yeah.
You don't need to watch all Supernatural.
No.
Leia did that for us.
Yeah, I'm not watching all of Supernatural, and I'm watching all the way to season 15, but I'm not watching all of it.
No.
Yeah, I can't.
There's
do that.
some episodes that you just could not. I can't handle.
For a show that has over 100 episodes, I do not watch more than 75% of it on the first time around. I just don't do that. I don't even do it with the shows that I unequivocally love, like Star Trek. I can't do it. It's too much.
Fair.
There's too much stuff in there. If I want to, I'll go back. And I fully intend to with some individual ones that are actually good that maybe I missed the first time around, but that's too big of a commitment for me when I'm there's just so much stuff to get to wade through the stuff that I really want to be there for.
That's fair. They keep busting out Carry On My Wayward Son, and it keeps hurting me, so I'm still in it to win it.
I mean, to be fair, the end is in season 5, so you'll see the end, which is good. Which I mean the episode that is mentioned in that article.
Yes, the episode that is entitled The End. Yes, I'm aware.
Yeah. So there's that. So, there'll be some stuff.
I think I am looking forward to watching Supernatural through season 5. And then, watching a handful of episodes after that, that Leia is going to lovingly curate for me, and watching kind of a, Destio greatest hits or whatever. And just getting to know that without having to be fucking present for all of the ups and downs and general bullshit, at least I know that it's like the fucking confession is out there. And that's enough for me. I don't need to experience every moment that leads up to it. I'll probably watch it and stuff, but just knowing it exists. Mm-hmm. It validates me going cuckoo bananas while watching the early seasons of the show. It sort of just looks down at me and says, it's okay. You're not seeing things. It's really there, and it's okay for you to go slightly bug fuck.
And you know what? There's always fic fanfiction if it gets to that point.
There is, but God, I don't even know where to start. There's over 1 million of them!
Well,
I've had some good ones. I'll see.
That's why you
That's
let your
so
friends
much
curate for
motherfucking
you.
fanfic. Yeah, okay. So, listeners,
some.
friends, everybody else, send me your Destiel fic, Rex, because I live here now. I live in this bunker. I've been locked in this fucking weird panic room in the basement to detox from Destiel hell.
That's where we all go in the end.
I'm pretty sure that metaphor makes Leia Ruby, which she will appreciate. Okay.
Exhausting to even think about them.
Now that I'm done just yelling about Supernatural like a total goofus.
Do you guys feel freed?
I do. I found out,
no,
weirdly,
it's...
I also... No, there is no free.
Okay, fair,
I
fair,
wish.
Fair.
I spent a bunch of my shift today in the drive up, which at the branch I was working at is like this box that's like separate from everything else. And so it was just me and my like the person who's like finishing up my training in the box. And we just like ended up like having we ended up pivoting to Star Trek to avoid having like a knockdown drag out argument about Marvel movies.
Oh no.
No, it's fine. He's like completely cool, and like I was just trying desperately to explain why I hate Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh no. And
he's like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "I just don't think it's funny." Anyway,
that's sad.
So yeah, just in terms of like me, today has just been like Ezra's fandom opinions day. It's been very weird. It's fine. Spent a lot of time talking about how if Disney's going to make a whole bunch of Star Wars spin-offs, they owe us a like High Republic Sith something. Give me the Sith.
They owe me Old Republic shit.
They
so
owe
bad.
me Old Republic shit, and I want the like fucking whole circus of madness that happens before Darth Bane kills everybody and establishes the rule of two.
Mm-hmm.
I need it! Okay, This is not... Speaking of other fucked up science fiction...
Yeah, exactly. I imagined that a lot of this episode was going to be taken up by November 5th talk. So our quote-unquote actual topic is a little esoteric and, ambiguous. Look who broke out their thesaurus today.
Yeah, damn. Matty out here with their fucking SAT vocabulary words.
Yeah, damn right.
Love that for you.
But because I did the triple feature of In the Mouth of Madness and Priest and Pitch Black, which are three, very weird movies and are, either sci-fi or, kind of sci-fi adjacent, it just made me think about, sci-fi as a genre specifically, I think has such a space to be, weird in a way that you don't see in other genres of film, I think. Not that there aren't weird... Obviously, there are weird movies in every genre, but, I just think about sci-fi, and there's just, endless lists of sci-fi movies that are just, what the fuck is going on?
Mm-hmm.
And the issue is that, for me, when I think about, okay, well, what defines a weird sci-fi movie? Because that's what we like to do, right? Define your terms or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't know. My heart will tell me if it's the weird I mean. And I think some of what I was thinking of was, the lore and the world building. I think if it's, cohesive or not, if it makes you go, what the fuck is this? Then that's part of the group. Even if it, quote-unquote, makes sense, if you're just okay, but what does that even mean?
Yeah, this is not about internal continuity or coherency or lack thereof. It's about just stuff that, and especially I think the caveat here is that stuff that makes you, if you are somebody who is has a reasonably high tolerance for just accepting sci-fi nonsense, you get on with the plot.
Buying into the bit.
Not somebody, not somebody who is just constantly every sci-fi movie makes them go like, okay, wait, this doesn't make any sense. Like,
right.
The stuff that makes you as somebody who is used to just being like, oh yeah, that's just how shit works in this universe, or like, yeah, it's sufficiently advanced technology, indistinguishable from magic, blah blah blah, a space wizard did it, whatever. The stuff that makes you a, I don't know, like, lifelong Star Trek fan or whatever go, okay, what the fuck?
That's, that's what I want to talk
like
about.
Jupiter Ascending. Like, when you get to fucking Sean Bean's house in Jupiter Ascending, and they're like, oh yeah, Stinger, who's part B, and you're like, okay.
What?
Excuse me, he's what?
Why?
He's a B? Why is he a B?
I mean, aren't we all really?
Aren't we all bees?
Is the question
I also
and
also like we would all still have sex with him, but you know, like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's whatever, man.
Or like Priest, which I keep summing up to people as like, okay, so it's a sci-fi dystopia meets a western meets a vampire movie meets a commentary on religion meets a commentary on war meets a trade movie.
Matty, why don't I own Priest?
I don't own it either.
What? Okay.
Shocking.
Okay, well, hang on, Amazon.com.
Both of us needs it.
I mean, last time I made a joke like that, you just bought me the Dresden Files, so I guess I'm sending you Priest.
Well, it's not my birthday.
Yeah, but like,
birthday?
New Year, this is true. New Year's is coming up.
That's true. So, you know, like, that's weird. Like, what is that? They're vampire hunting future priests, and they drive motorcycles to go 250 miles an hour.
I don't remember.
And they're powered by the sun.
Any of this.
What?
I don't remember any of this from Priest.
Yeah, you've seen it like once,
I've
right?
seen it once. I am sorry to say that was probably enough for me, but I respect you both.
No, that's fair.
Much.
I mean, is it a good movie? Does it kind of whip ass? Yeah.
Well, get ready, Matthew, because it's $5 and you're getting it in the mail. Do you want the Blu-ray?
I don't know if I need it in Blu-ray.
Okay.
Are you sure?
I don't know what Blu-ray's gonna do.
That's true. You know, I like Paul Bettany a lot, but I'm not sure I need to fucking. Oh no, I might only be able to get it with on Blu-ray with Prime.
Oh, whatever. It doesn't.
I mean,
it's not that deep.
You win some, you lose some. Carl Urban's Pores. I'm just saying.
He's also there. Yeah.
He sure is.
I showed this to Ben, obviously, and we were talking about it afterwards, and I was like, I feel like the point of this movie, this is one of those movies where for me, anyway, the quality of the movie, like, doesn't matter? Like, it doesn't factor, like, and this is from a notorious person who does not rate any movies on Letterboxd or whatever, but Ben does, and he was like, I'm not gonna rate this one, because it doesn't matter what my rating is.
Fair enough.
And I was like, I love and respect that for you. It's just like, it's just a lot of a movie. For people who don't know what Priest is, it's a 2011 movie featuring Paul Bettany, and Carl Urban, and Lily Collins is there, and Christopher Plummer is there.
Yeah.
And it's based on a Korean not webcomic, just a regular comic. I think they're called manhwa. And it... every time I start to explain this movie, I just lose my shit.
No,
so, since the dawn of time, vampires and humans have been fighting against each other. Yeah, whatever. We know how vampire movies work, right? And the church was like, alright, we're gonna train these, like, super priests to hunt vampires. And then they won the vampire war, and the priests didn't have anything to do. So they ended up being, like, working in maintenance and stuff, because they, they came home for the war, and nobody said they had any applicable job skills. Doesn't that sound like a thing? And then Paul Bettany, who is only referred to as priests. None of the priests have names. They're just priest or priestess or whatever. His like niece gets kidnapped by vampires, even though they're all supposed to be like dead, or like quarantined. And he goes on this fucking like one-man show with the sheriff, I guess two-man, with the sheriff of the local town to go get his niece back. And Carl Urban is a vampire.
Yeah.
Crucially, Carl Urban, like, They have history.
Oh, Carl Urban used to be a priest.
Carl Urban is Sean Bean in GoldenEye.
Yeah, he used to be a priest, and he got pulled away by the vampires specifically because Paul Bettany couldn't hold on, and he's held a grudge ever since, but in a gay way.
It's so gay, dude.
He's the first half human what we think of as vampires, because vampires in this movie don't have eyes; they're like mole rats.
What the hell? So they're
the vampire design is really cool. It looks really cool.
Yeah, they look like cave creatures. It's extremely rad.
And they build hives, kind of like bees do. Just wow, it all comes back to Jupiter Ascending.
It really does.
But anyway, but you hear me describe this movie, and you're like, what the fuck does any of this mean? And that's the core of what I'm trying to describe. I think that's also Pitch Black is a very similar thing, where I'm like, okay, so they're on a freight liner, and they're carrying passengers and also cargo, and they get knocked out of their shipping lane and crash land on this planet, and most of them die. But one of the people that doesn't die is Vin Diesel, also known as Riddick, and he can see in the dark. And they are on a planet that has 3 suns, so the sun never goes down, but oh wait, there's an eclipse that only happens every 22 years, and a bunch of monsters come out of the earth and try and kill them, and they have to escape.
It's so much.
It's so good.
There's so many things for
I do genuinely believe that Pitch Black is good.
I would really like to see it. I would really like to see it.
But also, the second one is basically Space Macbeth, and Carl Urban is also there. There's a trend, I think.
Yeah.
And I just that's the core. Oh, and in the Mouth of Madness is what if Stranger Than Fiction was more fucked up. It's just. What the fuck does any of that mean? I don't know, but I watched them all.
Yeah.
Helena, you saw the new Dune.
Yeah, I did. I saw...
Which I would count... I think Dune is weird. I've only read the book.
You're probably correct.
As a caveat.
This didn't feel as weird because the director is just, I think, more of a serious person. I 100% believe, having not seen it, and based on what I have seen tangentially, what people have told me, that David Lynch's Dune is supremely strange.
Well,
that's what I've heard.
That's Dave for you.
That's him, you know. This one, I guess I could see how it would be weird. It all felt very I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, to be fair, I'm a yeah, sure kind of person in general, which is very beneficial to me when I'm watching sci-fi movies, as we previously mentioned. But there's all of this stuff, this plot stuff. I thought that was one of the things that I did like about it, was that it was very, the world building was very subtly done. It wasn't over expositioned, I think. And I was like, yeah, why not? Yeah, spice. Yeah, sure. The big, yeah, whatever that is. Yeah, that's cool.
Worms.
Sure, worms, whatever the heck that is in this guy. Yeah, I mean, priests. Yeah, sure, whatever. Dreams. A box. Yeah, that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah, it was all kind of like that. But I believe you when you say that the Dune, the book, is very weird.
Now, to be fair, I was in middle school when I read it, but I think I had a higher tolerance for weird as a middle schooler.
Yeah,
I was a strange child, so aren't all children strange?
I think kids in general have a higher tolerance for weirdness, which is why I'm always baffled when somebody comes into the bookstore and I'm like, does your child like fantasy? Because I have to ask this question because all the books I recommend are going to be fantasy. And they go, actually, they don't. And I'm like, well, please leave my bookstore.
What the fuck do they read then?
That doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, I feel like I am interested in reading the book now. I will say, unrelated to the movie's particular weirdness, I had such a hard time the first, half an hour, 20, quite a long time taking Timothée Chalamet seriously.
Yeah.
You're in this grand space opera.
Timothée Chalamet is there.
And then he just shows up and I was just like, why is this boy here? And he's like...
I don't think I've ever actually seen him in anything. My only association with him is through just, media, being on the internet.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid that someday I'm going to see him in something and I'm just going to take me completely out of the moment.
Now, this is what I feel like. He is in 2 well, I guess the only 2 Greta Gerwig movies that she's directed so far, I think, which are, of course, Lady Bird and Little Women. I think he's really good in both of those movies, because he is playing this kind of like, well, especially in Lady Bird, he's just like playing this ultra serious like fuckboy. Like he's just being him, like a memed version of what people see him as in kind of a weird way, and it's really funny. And he's really sweet in Little Women. I think he's very earnest in Little Women. You know, he was really good in Call Me by Your Name. I just like, there's something about. It's really nothing that he can do about it, really. It's just that, you know, as somebody pointed out online, he has a face that looks like it knows what TikTok is. Like, I don't believe this man. It's like seeing Ben Affleck in Shakespeare in Love and going,
okay, but that's Ben Affleck.
I don't think so. You know, like,
you
got Oscar Isaac here, and he looks very grand. He was great, by the way. He looks very,
I mean, of course,
magnificent. And all of these, you know, veteran actors who look, even Josh Brolin, who's like, I mean, I guess he counts as a veteran actor, but
yeah,
like even Jason Momoa, who's like an action star, looks like he belongs in that world. And
yeah, I mean, he's done a lot of genre work. That doesn't really surprise me.
Yeah, and it's not even that like Timothée Chalamet doesn't look like he belongs. It's just like
he looks like a man who knows what TikTok is.
He looks like a boy who knows what TikTok is. And I kept thinking about like, okay, but what if this Dune, but with Kyle MacLachlan, like time machine finagling, and we get Kyle MacLachlan from the 80s when he was in Lynch's Dune, and just put him here, because I'm like, I feel like I've seen Kyle MacLachlan in movies when he was this age, if just like maybe a tiny bit older, and I just don't think I have the same reaction to him. Like, I feel like I would be able to take him like seriously in this role. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even that he's miscast. Like, Paul is not a very cheerful child slash man. You know, he's having a rough time of it, to be quite frank.
Yeah.
It's got some weird shit going
mildly
on. Right from the very opening scene with his mom, she's just like, oh, you have to use this okay, Dune is weird. She has like, you have to use this voice to make me give you the glass, like the weird voice that makes you like, it could make people.
Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, and if you've never read Dune, you've never seen Dune, you're kind of sitting there like me, going, "What are you talking about?"
This is what I mean.
Trying to do like a demonic sounding voice, which apparently is a thing that's not in the books or any other adaptation. It's just a kind of a thing that they do in this version.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, it's part of his like weird thing that his mom like has trained him to do, along with like everything, all of his other weird powers, where it's like you have that voice and you can like you can command when you use the voice, you can tell people to do what you want. You can basically just like, it's like mind control. And they've done some sound effects to the voice in this version where it sounds kind of like awful and demonic and very strange. So that's like one of the first scenes, like he's sitting with his mom at the table, and he's like, want some water? And she's like, try to use the voice to make me give it to you, and you're like, what are you talking about? Give him the water. Just give him the water. It's very strange. It's a very strange thing. Yeah. Now I'm just basking in now how I've realized how weird it is.
Yeah, Dune is weird.
It's weird.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, the Baron guy, he's weird. He's floating up high for no particular reason. He's in a little bath with some oil in it, and you're like, sure. There's a scene where
sure.
The one of the priestesses, who's played by Charlotte Rampling, visits the Baron and tells him to like, hey, don't you fucking Dune spoilers if you've never been exposed to the plot of Dune. Because they, the plan to kill Paul's father, and she's like, do not, like, his mother and the son are under our protection, do not kill them, and let them live or whatever. And she goes to visit him, and there's like something like a pet eating something, and the Baron's like lair and it doesn't, you're like, what is this? Some kind of like weird gelatinous like creature that kind of looks like an ant, kind of looks like a spider. Never explained, never referenced, never says anything about it. It's just this thing that's there, and she tells it to get out, and you're like, sure, that's something that happens. Yeah.
I'm gonna go see this movie, and I'm really looking forward to going to see this movie not having seen the fucking... not having read the book since I was in, you know, like, goddamn middle school, and remembering absolutely bugger all about it. And just going in completely unprepared. It's gonna be great. Can't wait.
Yeah. It's something.
Okay, does it at least... This is my actual important question. Does it at least look good?
Yeah, I'd say so. I will tell you that... I don't know why I hesitated to say that. Yes, I mean, it looks very good. I was sitting in the second row, so it was hard for me to take in the whole screen at one time. But no, visually, I think it looks nice. Maybe a little bit, you know, it's a Denis Villeneuve film, so, you know, your mileage may vary on his particular style, and, you know, how he likes to use, his DPs, you know, and how he wants his films to look. I think some people have come away disappointed with the look of it, but, I mean, it does feel very real at times. I just didn't, you know, feel a whole lot. And it was a long movie to not feel anything. I mean, in terms of, like, emotions. You know, which is... I don't know. It sounds like some people have been having the opposite experience, which is great for them. You know, I mean, I did enjoy Oscar Isaac. I did enjoy Jason Momoa a lot, like more than I was expecting to, and I was like, is he coming back? I thought Zendaya was really good in, like, her limited screen time that she got. And I'm, you know, excited to see her get to do more. I also thought the actress playing Paul's mom, Lady Jessica, was really good. You know, there's a lot of good performances in it. Interesting stuff. I was never, like, bored. I was never bored. I was always just like, oh, this is interesting. I don't know what's going to happen. But I didn't really feel deeply connected in any way to a lot of the characters, and I don't think that's necessarily a problem with the movie. It could just be that Dune is just not that kind of book, where you get to, like, that's what the writer is going for. I don't know. That's, you know, kind of what some people have said about the book. Is just like, it's just not that kind of novel, but maybe your mileage may vary on that, you know, because people have been comparing it to, like, Lord of the Rings, and I was like, if I was watching Lord of the Rings, I mean, to be fair, I have seen Lord of the Rings many times. I have a much deeper emotional connection to it at this point. But, like, let's say about half an hour into Dune, I was like, if I was watching Fellowship of the Ring right now, I would have already cried like 10 times. Just for the way that, like, a piece of score is used in a certain way, you know? Like, there's just, even if that's not in the book, which I do feel like it is in the books, but Lord of the Rings, I mean, there's just so much more emotion infused in there, to begin with, but, you know, maybe that's just, you know, the difference in the source material. I don't know. Who's to say?
I mean, no, that's an interesting point. I've been very curious about, you know, like, just, like, kind of what the fuck is going on with this, for lack of a better way to say it, you know?
Yeah. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. I mean, it definitely made me curious about reading the book. I think I might maybe do that sometime in the future just to see how those experiences lined up, and to also, of course, I need to see Lynch's Dune as well, because I owe it to Kyle MacLachlan, and to Patrick Stewart, and to Sting, arguably, and to the pug that Patrick Stewart carries around. I found out that Patrick Stewart plays the character who is played by Josh Brolin in this movie, which is very funny. But that's the limit of my knowledge.
And that's making me a little that's making me a little bonkers, but all right.
Mm-hmm. You know.
Sure. Okay,
why not,
fine.
Right?
I have no expectations about this movie. I mean, like, fully, I have none.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting anything. I think expecting anything is just going to be a bad idea.
I mean, I feel like, in a way, that's the way you want to go into any movie, almost. I mean, I don't think, like, to a certain extent, we can't help feel excited for certain movies and feel like we're going to vibe with certain movies as we go into them, but
yeah,
it's always good to, like, kind of leave expectations at the door, so to speak. Yeah, I think that, you know, might be a fun time.
I want to watch... This is completely unrelated, but I want to watch Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've mentioned this movie before.
Let me see.
And
okay,
I
I'm
have
gonna
a very
look up...
vague recollection of what it's about.
I'm gonna pull up an actual, like, it's a sci-fi horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
It has fucking Lawrence Fishburne, Sam Neill,
it has kind of a wild cast,
and
if I
an
recall.
extremely baby Jason Isaacs in it.
Oh,
delicious.
Okay, so it follows a crew of astronauts sent on a rescue mission after a spaceship called the Event Horizon, which had had gone missing. And it mysteriously reappears in orbit around Neptune. And they get there, and it's fucking haunted. And, like, it's so the idea is that the spaceship that they have gone to go check out, it was a test of, like, an experimental engine, and it accidentally, like, ripped a hole in the space-time continuum and let something in.
Excellent.
Very good.
It is so cool. It got murdered in like studio enforced cuts. But and what really sucked is that the director, which is Paul W.S. Anderson, was trying to do a director's cut because the DVD release went absolutely nuts, even though, like, it was panned. And nobody went to go see it, but it became a cult hit, and then they had fucking destroyed the extra footage.
No.
Yeah, so pour one out for the director's cut we could have had of Event Horizon. But it is creepy as shit, and it is so fucking cool. It also needs a content warning for, like, ice cream, and basically just, like, body horror, and, like, shit's fucked up. And I love it.
I'm
so
very
yeah,
excited to see it.
we should do Event Horizon as a movie night sometime.
Yes, we should.
That's kind of all I got.
I mean, I'm reading the reviews of it right now, and it sounds very good.
Yeah, I don't know, just, like, sometimes shit's just weird. And the thing about science fiction is that, like, you know, you can do, like, the kind of science fiction where you've, like, thought everything out, and you're like, see, here's how all of this works. And then you can do the kind of science fiction where, I don't know, shit just happens. And sometimes, I'm gonna be real here, I like the second kind better.
Well, I think, you know, Leia and I were talking while we were watching Romeo plus Juliet the other night, because there's a line, Oh, that Juliet has in the balcony scene. I have no joy of this contract here tonight. It is too rash, too sudden, something. Too like the lightning. What is it? The line something that ere one can say it lightens. To like the lightning which doth cease to be when ere one can say
ere
it lightens.
One can say it lightens.
And we were saying, there's a sci-fi book that both of us are familiar with. Me because I work in a bookstore. Leia because she's trying to read it, called To Like the Lightning, which I believe is a kind of military sci-fi. We're like, oh, that's where that title comes from. And she was saying that she had a kind of a hard time getting through it, and I think that was did not finish for her because the world building was just really, really dense. And I think there's something for obviously you don't want to well, I don't know what to say, obviously. Sometimes not going out of your way to explain it and not treating the reader like you're reading an instruction manual. Just treating the reader or the viewer like you know all this, right? That's one of the things I feel about Lord of the Rings, reading Lord of the Rings. Obviously there's an appendix and there's so much lore and world building involved, an insane amount. It's wrote the book on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thing, look, right? I'm reading the Silmarillion right now.
Yeah, but reading Lord of the Rings, I feel except for the prologue, that's here's what hobbits are. I feel there's no point where he takes you aside to be and this is why this thing happens. It's just we kind of go into this world and then we learn things as they become necessary to learn them, and they get used to the way that the world works through him creating the characters moving around in the world, rather than being I created this world and I need to show it to you, and I'm just gonna make up excuses to even though that's technically, you can argue what he did, to move my characters around in the world building that I've done. It just feels we're going from place to place, which is that's kind of what Dune, the movie Dune, felt like too. Was obviously this is a very dense source material with a lot of world building, but we're not going to take too much time to try and be pull you aside. It's here's something that you'll learn if you need to learn it, and here's something that we're just going to show you, and you're just going to be all right, well, this is something that exists in this world, and that's just what it is. I think that works out really well. There's some stuff that happens in Titan, which is less of a science fiction movie, more of a horror movie, but has elements of science fiction where it's not explained. You're okay, so how did that happen? And there's no explanation. There's absolutely no explanation for it. And you're you're just you know what? There doesn't need to be, because that's not the point of this movie. And there's people who are watching old who are oh, it doesn't make sense how any of this would happen. Wouldn't they die of hunger first? And it was you know what? You don't you don't need to stop and think about it too much. It's a beach. They're getting older. That's that's literally all you need to know. That's the only thing that you need to know about this. They're on a beach.
Normally you don't normally go to the beach and get stuck there and get old either. Maybe sometimes the rules are flexible.
Maybe
no need to cinema sins it, my man.
Yeah, they're on a beach, they can't leave, they're trapped there, and they're getting older and they're getting sick and dying. So that's what's happening. So just within that, what can we say about ourselves and about our relationships with each other and about the passage of time and all of these things that we're afraid of, aging and death and sickness, and how can we talk about those things within the context of this very freaky little sci-fi story? That's what's important. Not the plot details of well, what if their cells are aging in this? Who fucking cares? It doesn't matter. That's not what this movie is actually about. It's not.
I do think that
go ahead. Sorry.
With sci-fi specifically, people tend to get a little wrapped up in the details, because it's science, right? With magic, you can just be like, well, it's magic, whatever. But with science, people are like, okay, but I need to, like, because this is based in science, quote unquote, I need to understand, like, it has to, like, be correct with how we understand science. And I'm like, first of all, if you really want to get real crazy about it, there are a lot of things about science we are not entirely sure if we understand them correctly, so there's that on that.
Yeah.
2, normally you don't go to the beach and get trapped there and get old, so... You know, or like with Sunshine, which I haven't seen in a minute, but I love that movie and I put it on this list of like sci-fi movies that are weird. They're going to restart the sun?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because the sun...
That's not really
like,
how
all right,
the sun
let's
works.
go.
So you just gotta buy into the bit there. I know that there's a lot of like, you know, the people who are like, Star Wars is annoying because like you can't hear sound in space or whatever, and I'm like, okay, it's a movie.
Yeah. It's a movie, there's explosions.
Please relax.
Even like with Star Trek, people are just, they invented the word technobabble to, you know, and they refer to it like when they start saying, we're gonna do this with this and this and this. And Data's like, if I do this with this, this, and this. And people are like, oh, that doesn't make any sense with the polarity. And I'm like, I literally do not give a single solitary shit.
Doesn't matter.
When Data starts talking and starts saying that he's gonna do something, or when Geordi starts saying he's gonna do something, if you are not standing up and applauding and saying, yes, you're amazing, thank you for solving the problem, why are you even watching Star Trek? You're completely missing the point.
These are the most specialist boys in the whole show.
You missed the point
and you
entirely.
need to shut up.
Why in that one Star Trek episode do they start acting like really jolly all the time in the original series so they can fool this alien species? People are like, it doesn't make sense, that's not how I would do it. It's like, who fucking cares?
Shut up. It doesn't matter.
You're not watching
What
Star
matters
Trek,
is it
right?
makes sense in the continuity of the show. You know, there's saying a bunch of technical babble, whatever, and you could look at like our real life science and be like, doesn't make sense or whatever. First of all, see my point above of we may not understand, like, we don't necessarily know if we understand our own science correctly. And 2, it makes sense to everybody else in that universe. So it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's like, yes, this is how reversing polarities work. Done. That means in that universe, that's how that works.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to apply to our real life. It's called a television show. Please
Yeah, it's called
relax.
science fiction. Come on.
Yeah, it's like, even
Please
if they,
relax.
like with Star Trek, of course, it's, you know, there's so much lore and canon that like contradicts itself, right, over the course of the
whatever.
show. And like one of the things that's
I contradict myself all the time.
it's true. I do too. Like with the
all?
holodeck, how there's like established that there's certain things that you can't do on the holodeck and certain things that you can do on the holodeck. And then in the later episode, they'll be like, actually, this thing can happen on the holodeck. And if you are taking a second to be like, in this episode, last season, you said that the holodeck couldn't do that, you're boring. Like, not to be rude, but like, there's something in season 2 where it's like, yeah, Moriarty has the character of Moriarty in this holodeck Sherlock Holmes experience has gained sentience because he's such a fucking genius canonically within the context of the book that he has figured out that he is a hologram and he has left the holodeck and he's gonna take a shuttle and he's gonna go out into space, and that's where we're at. You just kind of have to roll with it. That's the coolest fucking thing I've ever heard as a concept for an episode. And if like you're getting too caught up in the minutia of like, if he's a hologram, how can he leave through the station and do this and take a shuttle and get, like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Just let it wash over you.
Like, it works in Star Trek. That's all you need to know, is that it works. It
works.
happened. So like clearly it works somehow.
Yeah.
None of your business. In defense of weird sci-fi.
Like, obviously there's a difference between, like, there is such thing as bad writing, I'm sure.
Sure.
But I just don't, for me, it's just not as important if Data says he's going to do something and it's not technically scientifically impossible. I don't care. I believe that he can do it.
Or like,
Data's smarter than me, what do I know?
Yeah, here's
Data's
another
so
one that I think is fun. Is like, okay, for instance, like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Distances in Star Wars are, how long does the plot need it to take you to get there?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, like seriously, they're not freaking they don't make sense.
Yeah. Isn't one of the big things is that parsecs is a measure of distance or something?
Well, one technically parsecs is a measure of distance, not time.
Which they then were like, well, it's because he found a different way to do it.
Yeah, it's because he took a shortcut or like went too close to the black hole or whatever. Which, in fairness, one, they didn't need to do, but two, is also cool. Like, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, fuck you guys if you're gonna be an asshole about it. Who's smart now? But yeah, it really is like, how the fuck does Luke get from Dagobah to Cloud City in like 2 seconds? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
He needs to be there.
Yeah,
so
how the power of story, come on.
The power of...
It's because he fucking loves his friends, that's why.
Get out of here.
He's on Dagobah for like 2 weeks or some shit, and they're on Cloud City for 30 minutes. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
He teleported through time to get to his friends because he loves them.
What always used to like drive me crazy, because to me it was very simple, was sometimes you'd be watching a movie, and sometimes they cut between two different scenes that are happening, and you're like, one of these, and like somebody would comment and say, one of these scenes seems like, wouldn't they have caught up with them at this point? Wouldn't this be moving farther along? And I was like, well, obviously the time is different in these two different things, and they're happening simultaneously. Like, obviously, just make your brain work with whatever makes sense. It's not that hard. Like, which one makes sense? Does it make sense?
Just suspend your disbelief.
Yeah. Does it make sense for them
what?
to
Like
just,
it's hard?
like, be for them to be working simultaneously, or does it make sense for them to like be, while this is happening, this is also happening a little bit before this? Like, let's just let it happen. Don't worry about it. Let your brain do whatever makes sense. It's fine.
Just be cool. Just be cool.
For like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Have you considered the concept of just like, just you know, chilling the fuck out
for a fun? Yeah, and and sometimes I think like, you said like good writing or bad writing, whatever, Helena, but like, and sometimes you're like, I don't buy this one bit because I don't think it's interesting, and it's like this is a stretch. Mm-hmm. But most of the time, I'm like, you know what? I know what you're trying to do, and, like, I'll let it slide. At worst, I'll be like, you know what? I'll let this one slide.
Yeah. There was that, going back to Old briefly, I did share this review on Twitter, but it makes me laugh, so I want to share it again. There's a review on Letterboxd by the artist, Branson Reese, who said about Old that, if you even have an ounce of the abhorrent... Okay, so you mean to tell me, Impulse, when you watch movies, this is like getting an MRI with a penny in your pocket? But if you're cool, it's a fun little movie about a freaky beach. So the right choice. Be cool, man.
But if you're cool...
movie about a freaky beach.
That's very funny.
And you know what? He's
Hell
right.
yeah.
If you have that impulse, I could see
me watching Jupiter Ascending, like,
bothersome. But if you're just chilling, it's like, yeah, man, this is a freaky ass beach.
Me trying to convince people to watch the Resident Evil movies, like, speaking of weird sci-fi, what the fuck? Don't make any sense. Anyway. Resident Evil as a whole doesn't make any sense, and that doesn't matter, because my heart says it's good. Did we have any other kind of final... We had a couple other movies on the list, but there wasn't anything else I wanted to, like, expand on significantly for any of them.
No. I didn't write a single... No, I wrote, like... I think the only thing I wrote on here was, like, I do love that Rocky Horror Picture Show is technically science fiction. Oh! Yeah. I was gonna talk about the Foundation show. I mean, what do I have to say about Foundation real fast? I think the thing about Foundation is that I'm seeing takes on the one hand that are, like... this is, like, a really, like, cool and, like, cinematic update to some pretty, like, dry and granular science fiction writing. And then there's one that's like, like, they've, like, betrayed the spirit of the fucking books by, like, becoming a blockbuster. And I'm like, okay, but consider this. They have an absolutely just unhinged amount of money to throw at special effects, and it looks good. So, like... because it doesn't always. flashback to me earlier today trying to explain why bad CGI object scaling ruined the entirety of Avengers Infinity War for me. It's petty, but I'm right. But, like, you know, Foundation does all this, you know, insane shit with, like, they've got this, like, orbiting fucking space station that has, like, a tube going up to it that's a sky bridge that fucking falls down and, like, gashes this giant, like, crashes through this, like, city planet, and it's batshit insane. And then also you have, like, Lee Pace as, like, the weird cloned god emperor of the universe explaining to a sex worker how to, like, bypass the fucking force field that exists, like, half a centimeter away from his entire body so that she can touch him. And it very also important. Looks tight as hell! Like, and also this whole fucking thing is about what if Jared Harris was so good at math he could predict the future?
That's just life.
Like, the level of just, like operatic sci-fi nonsense is still there, but it has 100% more women of color than the original, and, crucially, 100% more Terrence Mann. Who is my fucking hero. Terry, there's absolutely no reason you would ever be listening to this, but you're a huge fucking badass. My dad met him and I'm still jealous.
Hell yeah.
He was literally like, yeah, so I met him and told him that I still loved the Scarlet Pimpernel, and he gave me a hug, and I was like, I'm gonna shit.
Oh my god. Holy shit.
My father has hugged Terrence Mann.
I'm so jealous. Cool.
Unspeakably jealous. Anyway, I don't know where I was fucking going with that. Check out Foundation, honestly. Like, I'm having a great time. And as a little treat for me personally, there's a lot of shots of Jared Harris looking, like, compassionately serious and very golden lighting. And
I do love that for us.
I know what I like.
Mm-hmm.
And Lee Pace is so fucking good. He's also he's so hot.
He's so hot.
He's so hot. It's like unreal.
Jesus, that's what I was thinking, unfortunately, during the entirety of Dune about Oscar Isaac. I have to say, like, he's really
he's just, like,
this
distractingly hot.
He's, like, really good, and I was, like, gratified because tragically I'd forgotten that one of the reasons, because of, like, Rise of Skywalker was so bad, I had forgotten that, like, one of the reasons that I developed a crush on him in the first place was because he's a really good actor, but also holy shit.
Oh my god,
holy shit,
I know.
is he hot in this movie? And it was so hard for me to just, like, okay, come on, keep it together.
Bring it together, man. You just gotta get through it.
You're in public, you're sitting next to people. This doesn't have to be a thing. Just keep it together. But he had a beard, he was a dad, he was just anyway. There's a reason to go see Dune if you have a crush on Oscar Isaac.
Like all of us do, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was a very uncharacteristically horny way to end it. Just kidding.
We have our moments. I don't know.
Yeah, we're pretty.
I don't. This is like, I feel like there are without a doubt hornier podcasts out there, but, like, our podcast isn't.
We are not even the horniest movie podcast out there.
But, like, our podcast is like, we're not usually particularly horny, but we're also not, like, opposed to going there.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Speaking of horny, this is, I guess, my last thought is Pitch Black is a weird sci-fi movie for many reasons, but one of them is that there's, like, multiple women in that movie, and the person it is horniest for is Vin Diesel. It's just not what you're expecting, but it's like, all right, cool. And he loves making those movies. He's, like, doing that on purpose, so, you know, good for him. King of self-confidence.
Yeah, good for him.
Judi Dench is in the second one.
God, I forgot. Anyway. Yeah, she sure is.
That's where she learned how to play D&D, from Vin. I think that's a great ending.
Yeah, there we go. That's
wrap it up.
Well, gee, thanks for hanging out with us here on Sneople at the Movies. Oh, shucks, from the Infinity
Break gosh.
Golly. Check out infinitybreak.net for more swell content, and come hit us up on Twitter at people_snake, or shoot us an email at sneople@themovies@gmail.com. I don't know what email is. I live in the 50s. Our amazing music was done by Johnny Ronaldo, who you can find at Johnny Ronaldo on Twitter. Our super snazzy logo was designed by Bethany Luthold, and you can check her out at bethanyluthold.wixsite.com. If you've got a subject you want to hear us talk about, a movie you think we absolutely need to see, or your sci-fi movie moment that made you say, oh, what the fuck is this? Come say hello. Also, if you can, please leave a review on iTunes. Again, I'm from the 50s, I don't know what iTunes is. And share the show with any friends who you think would enjoy it. Any way you can spread the news helps us so much, and we would really appreciate it. And as always, thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the movies. Thank you.